With our form fill work done, we're ready to begin working on the tags in this document. So we know if I click the tags button here, there are no tags here. So we want to auto tag the document first of all. We could go through and manually tag these like we did in the one, but because of the form fields, it's going to be more intricate. So I'm going to go ahead and auto tag this. Auto tag should automatically pick up all the form fields. Again, I could do it from here with the auto tag document button. If I right click on no tags available, or I can go to my accessibility tool set, prepare for accessibility on the left side, click that, and use the auto tag button document here, or auto tag button there, I should say. We've auto tagged the document and everything is nice and organized. We have a part tag. We could leave that in or remove it, depending on whether or not we want that in there. I'm just going to leave it there. Because we don't have multiples of those in here that can cause confusion down the road. And it's just a single page document. First thing we have is a figure. The figure is this Wichita State University letterhead. Like before, I'm going to open my reading order tab to be able to visually have all the tags highlight. And we're going to start here on this figure. If we want to leave the figure in the document, we need to alt text it. If we want to have it invisible, we would background artifact it. I think I will keep it visible just as an identifier. I'll click the number 1. Remember, the numbers correspond to the reading order, by the way. So they may change as we work through it. Sort of a preview of the reading order of the document. I'm going to right click on that box, edit alternate text, and I'm going to say Wichita State University logo letterhead. Okay, that's all texted. We can continue moving down, and it brings us into the part tag. H2, let's see, that's the title of the document registration form. A title of a document should not be a heading 2. It should be a heading 1. So I'm going to right click on the H2, click properties. In the object properties on the type, I'm going to switch it to heading level 1, like so. And let's move our toolbox over a little bit here so we can see all the text if we can. We may have to highlight some stuff separately. In fact, I'm going to zoom it back to 100% here. Zoom to 100, just to give us a little bit more room. There we go. Okay. So we've got our title. It's a heading 1. I can see registration form there. Arrow down to the next tag, and it contains a number of things in this single paragraph tag. Individual information. Looks like the form fields are in there as well. And that's incorrect. So we're going to open that up. Individual information is in there. Since that's a section title, it's bolded. It probably needs to be a heading type. And we've got form here. If I open that, it's got a couple of different forms in there. We're going to need to split those out to the appropriate words. So we're going to do, the first thing we want to do is change individual information to be a heading type. This would be a heading 2 because it's not a title, but it is a subset under the heading 1. Remember, a title is heading 1 and chapters or subthings under heading 2. I'm going to right click on the paragraph tab, click properties, and in the type drop down, I'm going to switch it to heading 2. Okay. And we have our form items stuck in the same tag as the individual information. We're going to want to move those, but we don't have first name or last name in there. So I'm going to open the next paragraph tag to see what's in there. And this would explain the confusion. If you look here, it thinks that this entire line is a line of text. It's not splitting up the field areas from the words, and the words are occurring on the same tag. We need to split that out. So using my reading order tool set there, I'm going to select first name with the drag and drop as we did in the basic, or with the drag and select. And I'm going to change this to text paragraph. So now first name is on its own. And I'm going to do the same to last name. By doing that, that will also isolate those lines if they're there. Okay, so there's our heading 2. If I come down, our first paragraph after is first name, and the second one is a line. We don't need it. Select it, right click, change tag to artifact, delete the empty tag. The next one is last name. Okay, and I'll bet after that is another line. Yep, change tag to artifact. Okay, and delete the empty tag. Okay, so we've got first name and last name. Now we need the form fields to go in each. I'm going to open the heading 2 again where those forms live. I'm going to select form that both of these live in. I'm going to right click, select cut. I'm going to select first name, right click, select paste, because it should be parallel with. Okay, so that gives us the right form field object for first name. We need to transfer the last name one to its proper one. I'm going to go to last name here in that second paragraph tag, right click, new tag, form. That's what we want. Click OK. Adds our form. I'm going to come back into this form drop down, select last name, right click, cut, select form, right click, and it needs to be inset inside that form tag. So I'm going to do paste child. Okay, so we've got our heading 2. If I click on this first paragraph tag, it encompasses first name and the form field that goes with it. And the second paragraph encompasses that indicator and the form field that goes with that as well. So let's close up some of these tags now. I'm going to save. And we'll move on to the next line. Starts here. I'm going to open it and we've got a form, but no words. And like before, we've got both of the form fields for this line in one space. So we're going to need to split it up. And again, we've got a single line. This is going to carry through more than likely through all of these 4 lines. Close that up for the moment. And what I'm going to do now is save myself the time, and I'm going to highlight, I'm going to select, I should say, these 6 objects and make them separate paragraph items. Might have a shoe ID, text paragraph, email address, text paragraph, guests question mark, text paragraph. If so, how many? Text paragraph, home phone, text paragraph, and mobile phone, text paragraph. Okay, and our tags all closed. They do that when you're tagging, which can be inconvenient, but still, we can find them. Here's the one that has our 2 form fields in it. So let's look at the 2 paragraphs beneath it. We can see that it's answering to that same pattern. There's my WSU ID, there's email address, and here's the lines that are between them. I'm going to go ahead and change those lines to artifact just to get them out of the way and delete out their empty tags. Okay. And we've got the form here. The form is not associated with any text in this case. So we'll end up deleting this paragraph tag it's occurring in at the end. But right now, I'm going to right click on form, cut, select my WSU ID, right click, paste. Delete out that empty tag. I'm going to come to email address. This is just like we did a little bit ago with the first line. Right click, new tag form. And that's the email address, which occurs here. Right click, cut, select form under the email address, right click, paste child. If I select here, you can see that they're all collected under the paragraph tag, which is good. Ready for the next set. If I open the next paragraph, again, we have form with the 2 form items in them. And I'm going to click the tags below. It's guess, and if so, how many. And again, we had the lines between that we don't need. I'm just going to go ahead and change those to artifact. Get rid of the empty tags. And we need to move these like before. I'm going to select form, right click cut, select the guests, right click paste, delete out the empty tag. And we've got the guests. We need to move the if so how many down here. I'm going to select that, right click, new tag form. Select the if so how many object box, right click, cut, select the form under if so how many, right click, paste child. That's our third line down. And now we're going to do the final one. And again, we've got the form with no text here, the two together. Open up the 4 tags beneath. We have the lines. We're going to change them to artifact and delete out the empty tags. I'm going to select the form, right click cut, select the home phone tag, right click paste. And under mobile phone, right click, new tag form. Select mobile phone, right click cut, select form, right click, paste child. Go up to the empty tag that had the forms in it and delete it. Okay. And the individual information section of the page is done. We're going to save and keep moving down. Next up is check or select below whether you're faculty, staff, or student. That's another heading 2. It's bold and it equivalates to individual information. Let's look at the tags here. And we've got checker below. It's jammed all that stuff in one paragraph tag. And we can kind of see that here. We've got this big box here that has that in it. So first thing I want to do is change the paragraph tag to a heading 2. We're going to move this stuff around as we go. Right click on the paragraph tag after it's selected, properties, change it to another heading 2. I'm going to close it. And we have our forms in here as well. In this case, we have the lines combined with the word. The lines are on the left. We can isolate that for each of these. We need to isolate them anyway. So I'm going to use my select tool to select faculty. And see how I didn't grab it there? You got to be pretty generous sometimes. Text paragraph. I'm more or less doing this because I want to split it off from those lines, their staff. It generated another tag that's probably a space tag. We'll see when we get there. If it's a space tag, we'll just background artifact it. And students, text paragraph. Okay. So that should isolate some of that stuff here. Heading 2, form here. Okay, so it's tried to isolate out. We want to find our first heading 2 that corresponds with the top line. Check or select below, that's right. Paragraph, faculty by itself, good. It has assigned the form fields in what looks like heading 2s, probably because I switch it to a heading 2 first. It's not a big deal. However, I haven't had it do that before. Sometimes Acrobat Pro just sort of does things, for lack of a better rationale, and sort of you have to change them as you go. But it'll eliminate itself as we go. This is the form that goes with faculty. So effectively, we're reversing the order. We want it to read faculty first and then give them the checkbox. The checkbox on the left makes sense to someone who can see it, but for someone who doesn't, it's just going to hit a checkbox and then the word after, and we don't want to do that. We want to reverse that. So we're going to have faculty first here. And the first form we have goes to faculty. I'm going to right click, cut, select faculty up here. In the paragraph tag, right click, paste. And that form is in the right place now. The heading 2 here has just a line in it. We can change that to artifact and delete the H2 tag. Now we're going to move down. The paragraph tag we have here is staff. That's okay. We need to find the form field to match it up with it. The H2 here is an empty box. The empty box like that usually means space. Yep. It just highlighted a space there for some reason. We don't need it. I can right click, change tag to artifact. It'll go away and delete out the H2 tag. Okay. Form. The form is the form for staff. Okay, so I'm going to have the form here with staff. Right click, cut, select staff, right click, paste. That gives us our staff one. Moving down, the next H2 is the third one. It has a line. We're going to change that line to artifact. Delete out the empty tag. And it brings us to student. Okay. And when I click the tag underneath, we've got a lot of form elements in there. It tried to jam all of the content from the following inside of it, interestingly. But all we need is the first one right now. Form student OBJR. We need that here. So I'm going to select form, right click, cut, select student, right click, paste. Okay. So that has this checker select below section all organized correctly, and we're ready to move down to the next section. Now that we have our student line here taken care of, we can move to select all the options below that describe your current situation. It's similar in that everything is pretty much rammed into one space. So this one, I'm going to highlight, select all the options below that describe your current situation, and see if I can isolate that out as an H2 without everything else turning to an H2 like we saw before. I'm going to highlight that stuff, click heading 2. That should be it there, is it? Select all the options below. Yep, it is. Okay, so we're good on that. It pulled it out of the other tags. That's good. Now we have all the other stuff. And I want to separate it out from the lines, each of these. So I'm going to do the same thing I did above. I'm going to select each piece of text here like this and change them to text paragraph individually as opposed to a group. And it looked like those lines were there on the other, but they had the lines connected, and I just don't want the lines connected to the lines of text. I want to be able to eliminate them. Okay, so we've got that, and I'm going to open a few of these tags. Looks like we're doing good. The first one under our title here in the first paragraph is a line. We can get rid of that. The underlines, change tag to artifact. Delete the paragraph tag. I actively volunteer for community outreach events. Okay, we need the form for that. The second paragraph tag under it probably has it. That's probably it. Open it, and it is. So I'm going to have the form selected, right click, cut, select I actively volunteer, right click, paste. Go to the line right here, right click, change tag to artifact, delete the paragraph tag. Brings us to I have a flexible or free weekend schedule. Open the paragraph tag under it where the form's price sitting. And it looks like it has more than one form in there. It does. So we're going to do this a little bit differently. I have a flexible or free weekend schedule. I'm going to right click on that, click new tag, form. And we have the form down here. It says flexible or free weekend. I'm going to select that, right click, cut, Select the form for I have a flexible or free weekend schedule, right click paste child. So it's inset. We want to paste child there. And that is that one taken care of. And we come to the third paragraph form. Provide my own transportation. Doesn't look like the text is above it. It's going to be below because it built the form field and then it has the text. So that's probably right here. I can provide my own transportation. Okay. And I'm simply going to select the form from have transportation, right click cut, select I can provide, right click paste. Form is in the right place. We've still got the line here. Right click change to artifact. Delete the paragraph tag. Okay, and that should get us those 3 lines done. I'm going to close them up. I can arrow through them with my arrow button, make sure everything's where it should be in highlights. It is. Go ahead and save. And finally, that brings us to the signature date line. So I'm going to open that. Again, signature and date are on the same line. So I want to split that up. I'm going to select signature, text paragraph. Note it popped to the top of the document. There's really no reason for that. It just does it. I'm going to select date. And it looked like I had an extra space there. So I'm going to try to get a little closer. Didn't highlight the D that time. There we go. Text paragraph. And come down here late in the tags and find our items. This one here looks like it. I'm going to open it, their signature. And I'm just going to open up all the tags underneath. There's our form fields. And I'm going to select the line after signature, right click, change to artifact. And I need the form field for this. So I'm going to look in the 2 form fields. It looks like, yep, it's the first one. Right click on the form, cut, select signature, right click, paste. So there's our signature field. The next one is date. And that's going to be that. First, I'll get rid of the line, right click, change to artifact. Delete the empty tag. Select the form. Date form completed. Right click on form, cut, select date in the previous paragraph tag, right click, paste. Select the empty paragraph tag and delete it. And that should be the last 2 tags. If I come down 1 and 2, that's it. And that will finish up our tag work. Our next step is to check the reading order.